welcome to this week's episode of Food from Fiction. This week I thought we would tackle Anne of Green Gables and the raspberry cordial that she and her friend were supposed to be drinking instead of what they ended up drinking. I really enjoy Anne of Green Gables. I read it as an adult, so I might have a different outlook on it than a lot of people who grew up with it. But I find it delightful. Maybe it's because she's a kindred spirit. I don't know. So we're going to make a rhubarb and raspberry cordial because I'm in charge. So I have a bunch of rhubarb chopped up, and I have some sugar already in this pot, and I'm going to add some water. All of my rhubarb, I'm going to try to do this carefully here. A cordial is like a flavor that you add to another drink. You shouldn't drink it all on, just on its own. So that means we're shooting for making something somewhere in between a jam and a simple syrup. Probably more simple syrup-esque. But the process is like making a jam. Alright, and then we have some raspberries to add in. And then our last ingredient is going to be lemon zest and some lemon juice. So there's that. Our lemon juice going. So then all we are going to do is just put it over the heat and let it cook down. Let the fruit get really soft and squishy, and which is the part that is like making a jam. So just keep an eye on it while it cooks down, and I will show you what to do next, and when we get to the next step, and then we'll talk about cordials and Anne of Green Gables. Our rhubarb has cooked down and it's mushy and is broken up, so we are ready for the next stage. This part is probably going to get messy, so bear with me. Alright, so we're going to pour our mixture through a sieve, so we don't get any of the chunks because we only want liquid. And we're going to put it into a glass jar, and that's the next step of this. I did want to talk about how much I enjoyed the raspberry cordial scene in Anne of Green Gables, because last year when I was studying in Northern Ireland, we had a similar experience where we didn't understand what cordials were, that they were something to, like, you added water to, or tea or whatever, some liquid, not just to be drank on their own. So I found it really amusing when I ended up reading Anne of Green Gables that well, yes, that isn't exactly what happened there, but that there was another mishap involving cordial. And I don't know, it's a fond memory for me, so I really enjoyed being able to have something bring that up. I think in Anne of Green Gables it's also amusing because so many people have stories about underage drinking, and their first experience with alcohol. And well, I just find most of what happens in Anne of Green Gables to be very sweet, and even when it's not talking about or dealing with sweet things, the way that the subject matter is handled, probably because it's a children's book, is just charming. So I picked Anne of Green Gables and a raspberry rhubarb cordial to make on a very overcast, rainy day, which is rare for us because of my fond memories in Northern Ireland. Once you get this all through the strainer, you just need to chill it. And then once it's completely cool, you can mix it up with sparkling water, regular water, put a handful of mint leaves or whatever catches your fancy in there. And that's how you make and use a cordial properly. I have finished straining our cordial, and I realized one of the things, the moral of the story from my cordial experience is that a little goes a long way. So I hope you experiment and make a cordial. I hope you like Anne of Green Gables. What other classic kids books have I not been reading? What have I missed out on? See you next time. Hope you enjoy.